Okay, I wanted to do my observations of the 2024 presidential election. In fact, all the way down the ticket from the race for the White House, all the way down to the city councils and state houses, etc. I want to take a look at this. First of all, overall, a massive, massive red wave, a repudiation and a pushback against the machine. The machine of the left, the deep state, the Democratic apparatus, the elites, and the establishment on the left, and the establishment on the right, too. A rejection wholeheartedly of what I call the machine. And now I'm not going to say that every single election went our way. I'm in North Carolina. The GOP got clobbered. I mean, quite honestly, they got clobbered. And there's going to have to be a come to Jesus meeting in the North Carolina GOP. But nationally, it was a landslide. Donald Trump, the comeback politician of my lifetime. This is one for the history books. But let me go through it one right after another. I want to take my time and do this. Number one, I wanted to wait until I saw Harris's concession speech on Wednesday. And truthfully, I was really disappointed. She had an opportunity to do the right thing. She said the right words, but it was a divisive message. Just go ahead and count the number of times she used the word fight, which basically was giving green light for those on the left that didn't agree with her to continue the resistance, continue the lawfare, continuing the maybe even the violence. We've seen that with a lot of unrest in our cities. I mean, this was a landslide. I mean, it's the and with, let's see, on the GOP side, the Trump side, they had over 500 legal teams stationed around the country. What happened in 2020 was not going to happen here in 2024. I don't think anybody's disputing the legality of the election, the legitimacy of the election. There's still places, I know in California, Maricopa County, and other places that you could really kind of question they're still counting votes. I mean, days later, out there in Nevada, out there in Arizona, when here's crazy, down in Florida, by 9 p.m., they had over 10 million votes counted. I mean, really. But let's get to the point. I think I don't think the concession speech was a good one at all, but let's move on. Next observation. The legacy media is dead. The mainstream media totally was carrying the water for Harris. 98% of the reporting about the two candidates, 98% of the reporting from mainstream legacy media on Donald Trump was negative. And they're still complaining about this. And the talking heads are still ranting and raving. Nobody's listening to them. You know why? Because people don't trust them anymore. And people have moved to finding their information out from other places. Look at look at Elon Musk, $40 billion to purchase Twitter. And look what happened. He did it so there could be free speech again. People are finding their information out different places. Podcasters like Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson and Theo Vaughn and Charlie Kirk and Flagrant and Daily Wire and Steve Bannon and Flashpoint and many other places. Legacy media is dead. Next point. Next observation. The Harris-Walz campaign, the Democratic apparatus, the ones that were behind the removal of the old man, Joe Biden, to get Vice President Harris to run, and to bring in Walz, soy boy Tim Walz. I just think, first of all, they were terrible candidates. I've been saying it all along, and you guys have been calling me racist, misogynist, all this other stuff. But the fact is, She was so insulated, so artificial, so manufactured, so protected. She couldn't stand on her own feet. She couldn't answer questions that were tough. She could not back up by words her policies if she really had any at all. She was so unbelievable. Nobody really trusted her. Nobody knew who she was. She was a terrible candidate. And soy boy Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, I don't know why they picked him, but he was a disaster. Maybe because, all the beta males, they wanted to be able to talk about, this new masculinity, and he was, the perfect picture for the kind of man that the Democrats wanted in America. But what a disaster. The campaign missed it because it ran on two things, two primary principles. One, Trump bad, Trump Hitler, Trump dictator, Trump threat to democracy. Everything about Trump was bad. They sent their surrogates out there, the lawfare against him, the politicized charges against him around the country. Number one, Trump bad. That's all we heard all the time. And B, pretty much, argue with me all you want, but it is abortion on demand. Right up until the day of full-term delivery and even afterwards. That's all we heard. Now they call it reproductive freedom, they call it choice, and all these other nice words so that you don't have a bad conscience or your conscience doesn't bother you, but that's all it is. Next point. The exit polls prove this time and time again. I felt it, I saw it, but the exit polls were saying this. Over 70% of the people were angry and unhappy at the direction of this country. What this was we the people raging against the machine. This was, I'll call it the rage against the machine, the rage against the apparatus, the rage against big government. It is we, the people, pushing back against the elite and the establishment and the powerful. I think they were just tired of being lectured. I think we, the people, the regular working man and woman, are just trying to take care of their families and just getting killed on, economically and every aspect. And they're just trying to make ends meet, and they got tired of it. They saw, 2 impeachments of this guy. They saw 91 politicized indictments. They saw 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump. Like I said before, 98% of the media coverage was negative against Donald Trump. He had to run against 2 separate candidates in this presidential election cycle. It's crazy. But here's the fact. How they totally missed it. Americans are hurting. They are hurting economically. Inflation and these policies that Biden-Harris pushed and the machine pushed, printing money, the inflation that it caused, I mean, from groceries to getting your car fixed, to gasoline, to taking a flight anywhere, to buying gifts for your children for Christmas, to trying to get your HVAC fixed, to you name it, trying to buy insurance, putting your kids through college, you name it, everything costs more. And Americans are hurting. The latest jobs report, which mainstream media totally missed, totally overlooked. But the last jobs report that just came out, only 12,000 new jobs. They were projecting, the White House was projecting 150,000 new jobs, 12,000. And the only growth in our society, in our economy, in terms of jobs, were government jobs. Government jobs. The private sector went down. That's what I'm telling you. They totally missed it. The Harris campaign, the Democrat apparatus, the elite just missed it. Because Americans are getting hammered. Everybody. So 12,000 new jobs, government jobs up, private sector jobs down, crime is up, immigration, open borders, the safety. I mean, what do you think, moms in America? You're mad at them because they weren't voting for Harris, but they're afraid of their children. Couldn't go out shopping, couldn't go on the streets. Our cities are being overrun by illegals. And still, the elite thinks that it's Donald Trump, bad guy, and abortion on demand. Pretty much. That's what they think that Americans really want. You got, like I said, the open borders, the hypersexualization of our children, the unbelievable ideology that our children should be given permission, if they're confused about themselves and confused about their gender, just open mutilation, castration, permanent life-changing decisions being done by children and taking the parents out of it. I'm telling you, it is the rage against the machine. And the Democrats missed it. Christians being told, you're not welcome here. You go down to the next rally, which is symbolic of their whole arrogant, godless view of what Americans really are. You Christians, go down there, make your noise at that other rally, the other rally down the street. But here it is, and I'll wrap it up with this. The most insulting, the most arrogant, the most condescending and disparaging part of this whole campaign, and where the Democrats just totally missed it. This is why they got clobbered. It is the messaging, the disparaging, condescending, talking down to Americans, that you people who actually think about voting for Donald Trump and anybody that's a Republican, you're deplorable, you're irredeemable, that you're Nazis, you're fascists, you're garbage. Yeah, all you women that support Trump, you're weak and unintelligent, and that Trump only surrounds himself with weak and intelligent women. How insulting. That if you are not falling in line and voting for Vice President Harris, that you're racist and you're misogynist. You're a bigot, and you're anti-American. Now wait, this racist and misogynist argument, boy, we totally lost that because Harris, in the end of the day, underperformed Biden, the old man Biden, with women, blacks, and Hispanics. So that argument that all of us are racist and misogynist, well, you can throw that out because the facts kind of disqualify that statement. Like I said, we're being told we're anti-American if we support Trump. We're threats to democracy. That we should be censored. That our language, full of disinformation, should be regulated. You know what? In the end, the final, I think, blow to this whole campaign was is parading Barack Obama and Michelle Obama out there to shame blacks and women into voting for Harris just because of skin color or gender. And how insulting is that? When blacks and women and mothers and working women and blacks trying to take care of their family, trying to make ends meet, and they're getting clobbered economically. They feel like the immigrants are coming in, taking all their jobs, but they're being shamed. You have to vote for the people that put you in this position just because you're black or a woman. That's I think, the most insulting thing that they did. In the end, Trump connected with the working men and women of America, the working men and women of America who are just, they're getting crushed financially. They're getting crushed. They're being told that America isn't exceptional, that you better get in line, that they were talked down to. But Trump connected with the working men and women, connected with those young people, connected with all those people, even though they might not like him personally, but they're getting crushed economically. They're getting crushed in every aspect of their life, and the American dream was drifting away. And they're having all these extreme social agendas slammed down their throat. Money's being sent over to Ukraine by the billions of dollars. The borders are wide open. And that money could be used for our veterans, could be used to incentivize people in America to get back on their own 2 feet with certain programs that would motivate them to work harder and grow a business and prosper more. No, money is being sent to overseas wars. The gates are wide open down there in the southern border. Inflation is killing us. So what did Trump do? He connected with these people and spoke their language. He reached out to them. He connected with the youth vote. He connected with the black vote. He connected with the Hispanic vote. He connected with the Jewish population and their vote, with the Catholic population and their vote, connected with the Muslims and their vote, connected with all these groups and reached out to them, worked hard, listened to them, did the bold things, reached out and through multiple platforms and went and did the hard interviews and the hard conversations. He reached out in the end. Here's what I see. Is it Trump and the whole Trump campaign, and I'm going to tell you, J.D. Vance too, and he is excellent. They want to usher in the next golden age of America. They want to get Americans dreaming again. They want to get Americans experiencing the dream of America: freedom, free enterprise, small government, a government that they can be proud of again, and usher in this golden age. In the end, we, the people, won. That's it. The government of the people, by the people, for the people, won. It is freedom won. And we push back one more time against authoritarianism and tyranny and socialism, and freedom won. We get another chance. There will be another message I'll have, because in the end, I want to speak to all the believers out there, all the Christians out there that I believe are really behind God moving on this. But that's another message. But in the end, we the people won. The machine lost. And that's my message, my post-election 2024 observations. All right, we got our chance. Let's do something with it.